Hello everyone, happy Saturday to you, March 2nd. This is Gitanjali Dilip from Salem, Tamil Nadu, India. I've been sharing poetry and rendering my poems from two of my poetry collections, Soul Riff and Poetry Voice, Atma Tarang and Geeta Dhwani. Today I thought I would share something very precious too, from the very first curation of the Yercaud Poetry Festival that we've been conducting and curating for the past 6 years now. The first 2 years they were held at Yercaud, and then the COVID hit. And during that time it was online. And again we revived it in 2022. And in 23 we were not able to complete the poetry, so we pushed it to 24 January, although it was the 23 edition. And the first 5 years were dedicated to the muse of the elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether. The nice thing about the first 2 years of plant poetry, as you can see, and float poetry, the first one dedicated to earth and the second to water. In both these editions, the visually impaired children, young adults, adolescents of the Sheva Pet School for the Blind of Salem were included. Of course, they wrote in the vernacular in Tamil, but one of our poets, contributing poets, Saranya Francis, was kind enough to translate these children's poems into English so that the world could understand their voice through their eyes, though they could not see. And we wanted to give their poetry a voice too. So I'm going to read the English translation of two of the poets who participated. And the headmistress of that school was so kind, the government-aided school. She was so kind to let them participate. And I thank Uma Valiappan, my friend, who introduced me to this wonderful school where some really good work is being done. And she guided us along the way. So we soul scribers are truly humbled by the contribution of these amazing children. So the first poem that I want to read is by Sri Harini. She wrote something called Maram, tree. Okay, and here is the principal and her assistant, the vice principal of the school, both of them visually impaired. And these are the children who participated, and that's me in the left, in this corner, and this is Uma, who guided us. So I'm going to read you S. Harini's Tree. For the sweetness of the sugarcane, the sharpness of the knife, the fruit of the tree, the salt of the sea, the fragrance of the flower, there's a breeze-giving tree. The moon arrives at night, the tree gives shade, and the Lord sends blessings. Our day is made. Let's go trees, grow trees. Let's gather goodness. As the pearl is the sea's wealth, so is the tree ours. A fan may give us artificial breeze, but the tree gives it with natural ease. For that alone, let's grow trees. To see greenery and soothe senses, to enjoy nature, let's grow trees. As there are clouds in the sky, there's a will to grow trees in our hearts. Let's voyage on a ship and cherish the sugarcane. Let's take the onus of growing more trees. We may pay to buy possessions, but trees are precious and free. Our wounds will heal, the tree will grow, and life will flourish. Let's love the tree as much as we love the rain. Let's love the tree and think twice before we fell it, for it is betrayal to fell a tree that's affectionate. That was S. Harini, Standard 7 of the Government Middle School for the Visually Impaired. How profound her thoughts are. all of 13 years, probably 14. So beautiful, her thoughts. She's not seen a tree in her life. It's amazing how they can express themselves. Next we have R. Karnan, who also wrote something for trees, basically because the element earth was the muse for the first of the curation of the Yercaud Poetry Festival way back in 2018. Again, this is Standard 7, R. Karnan. Maram illamal mazhai illai. That is the Tamil title, meaning there's no rain without the tree. And dear Saranya Francis has beautifully translated all these poems into English without taking away the soul of the poems. There's no rain without the tree. Raise a building, but please don't fell a tree. There's no prosperity on earth without trees, neither goodness. The tree is a fruit of man's penance. It's a boon, cannot be destroyed. The tree is a boon from the Lord. Don't cut it. There's no light, no shade, nor breeze, nor rain without the tree. Nor there is oxygen for living beings. It's a sin to cut a tree. I may be unemployed, but growing trees is an ethical choice. Let's watch human progress as we grow trees. The tree is the seed. It is my very life. Trees bring rain. Do not destroy. If there are no trees, human life suffers savagery. Hats off to Saranya Francis, who translated these poems. The Tamil version is even more beautiful, but many of you out there in the audience do not know the language. And of course, there is A. Ayyappan, who is also from the same school for the visually impaired, who wrote something called Trees. He's in Standard 8. I mean, now they've all moved on, but this is like 2018, our very first. Look at the beautiful cover page done by Sufia Khatun, beautifully painted by her. And she was also part of the book. Amazing. She also designed the tote that we gifted to the poets. And on that, there was a beautiful painting of a tree of life. So I'm going to read M. Ayyappan's Trees. Were it not for trees on earth, where could one go for clean air? Were it not for trees on earth, where could one submit a plea for rains? There is no world without the tree. The tree is our responsibility. Don't cut trees. Don't cut trees. The tree is our life's premise. Killing the tree is our own demise. Let's be wise. Let's save trees. We need trees to breathe. Let's realize. Trees are life's providence. Trees dictate your fate. There's evidence. Change your fate. What are those trees? Trees are the very revered deities. There is no nature without the tree. Trees are nature's ultimate decree. Without trees, there's no future. Without trees, only barren nature. Without trees, no shade, no bee is heard. Without trees, no animal survives, nor bird. Let's save trees. Let's breathe goodness. Let's save trees. Let's live in fullness. Again, because it's pertaining to earth, the muse, M. Ayyappan wrote about trees again. All of them wrote about trees. And I think despite that, all of us are sometimes just indifferent when there are concrete jungles that mushroom everywhere and they are forced to cut down trees. Hopefully they will replant. I want to read just one more poem so that I can continue reading tomorrow. K. Madhav Raj, Standard 7 of the same government middle school for the visually impaired, Shevapet, Salem. Tree. Increase wisdom. Plant trees. Without trees, there is no human race. Trees give us oxygen, breath's trace. Thus, do not cut trees. Let's nurture, not ruin their peace. Let's safeguard our environment. Trees will help us in development. Trees are the basis of earth and breath. Trees give shade. They are our wealth. Like you love friend and your family, show your love to the life-giving tree. For clean air and restful shelter can only be received from a tree. By cutting trees, you may make money, but save trees, you will have benefits many. Fruits and flowers, shade and showers, the tree shall give, joy will be ours. You and I live in a home that's built, but birds can only live in the tree's nest. From the tree will grow forests best. Trees will give us shade and peaceful rest. Don't cut trees, it will cause a rift. Trees are divine, they are God's gift. That was Madhavraj, Standard 7, who's written this beautiful poem just to, remind ourselves that these children have not seen trees. They come from a very, very low economic strata, but they have so much wealth of wisdom, and I'm sure they will all turn out to be amazing poets. We were so privileged and so proud to include their poetry in our first edition and curation of Yercaud Poetry Festival, Plant Poetry. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for, participating in my joy of sharing poetry with you. And have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.